So I want to talk about our world and what is in my understanding. We had that earthquake. We had two earthquakes. Now, I was inclined to bring attention to the geomagnetic magnosphere, whatever we call it. But I didn't want to. I don't want to do that. I want to do other things, and it's really not up to me. So that's as it is. But I think those two earthquakes were. I think they were man aided. They were aided by man. They had like nuclear detonations, and I could be wrong about that, but I think they did. And I don't know how this works. I don't know if there's pressure, and if they do I'm sure they do studies on the geothermal activity, but I don't know if venting things is something that they consider. I know they do consider manipulation, and they consider a lot of things. They is people in power. They consider a lot of things, but I don't think they consider this. So what's to be is where there hasn't been an earthquake, where there hasn't been any volcanic activity. I think Mariana Trench, maybe, is that in the Atlantic? Somewhere maybe, let's say, southeast central Atlantic. No volcanic activity, but it's going to be the most volcanic activity in the whole history of the Earth. Well, maybe not exactly the whole history of the Earth, but history is actually a relatively modern term for what's historic. But anyway, it's going to be enough to cover the whole Earth in a fog, and at that point, the Fuckboy Institute, Kash Patel and all of his friends and his families, they have to be forced into the Denver military bunkers. All of their family and friends, all of their friends and family, and if you are negligent in forcing their friends and family into the bunkers that they have it in a Denver, huge massive $1 trillion bunkers that they built. But all of Kash Patel's family, and that's the entire police force of the Earth, okay, United States, whatever. They're not here to defend human rights. They're here to defend the bank. That's it. So they should be forced into the bunker, and with all of their friends, every one of their friends. Okay, they prepared, but they didn't prepare for this. But anybody negligent in doing this is going to be pounded to death by the massive hail that we're going to have. Okay, so if they do the right thing and they do the diligence, do the work, I've done the work. Okay, I've done the work, but I'm going to put it this way: neglecting to do that will result in you being complete, your whole village and everybody there, broken bones, buried under ice, with the wild pigs. Okay, so that's gonna just assume that's gonna be the case, because we're just gonna assume nobody's gonna do the right thing. Okay, just assume nobody's gonna do the right thing, but know that the right thing, it actually makes sense. You get Kash Patel's entire family, all their friends, and this goes with every other law enforcement, because the only laws they're enforcing is the monetary system. That's it. That's the only laws they're forcing. And if they're don't go into the bunkers. You beat the piss out of these people, their families and their friends, and neglecting to do that will result